Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So today I want to talk about how the U.S. debt ceiling is more serious than it looks. It's actually very, very concerning. So let's talk about that. It's one of the reasons why we should all be buying more Bitcoin, and also a bit of an update on the latest meme coin, Pepe. So let's get started. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin still holding, a little stagnant these days, but you know what? I think that's going to go away pretty soon, especially considering the U.S. is out of money. It is that simple. The U.S. is so out of money that we have to try to raise our debt ceiling because that is it. We can't incur any more debt. We can't print any more money because we have implemented a self-governing kind of rule, this debt ceiling, which really is nonsense. But since Congress is divided over that, because some actually want the U.S. to be more responsible, there is this concern that there won't be a vote to increase the debt ceiling. So now Biden and the White House is saying, well, we may have to short-term extend that. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's legal, because I thought Congress has to vote on it. If Congress is not going to raise the debt ceiling, how do you impose an extension, right? So, I mean, it's looking pretty bad. I mean, here's the thing. This has been known since December, okay? So there's been 5 months since then and 0 discussions about it until now. It's always last minute, and I think that's the strategy. It's like to make this so urgent that everyone has to agree upon it, or it's going to be doom and destruction and Armageddon for the U.S., right? But you know what? This morning I decided to bring up this U.S. debt clock, which shows that we are already at around $32 trillion in debt, which comes out to be about $95,000 per citizen. Well, you know what? If all of us just paid $95,000, we can get out of the debt. It's that simple, right? Let's just all take $100,000 out of our pocket, contribute it to the debt, and then we will eliminate it once and for all. If it was only that easy. Now, that's how much we are in debt. What's our GDP? If you look in the middle there, it's about 26 trillion. So you could see there is a disparity, right? It's not the same. We have more debt than what we're making, basically, right? And, you know, I decided to use this. I didn't know, but there's actually this time machine, so you could go back in time, okay? Let's look at it in 1980. 1980, the U.S. had less than $1 trillion debt. Less than $1 trillion. Debt per citizen was only at $4,000 at that time. And the GDP of America at that time was $2.5 trillion. So we definitely made a lot more money back then than we had debt. That's 1980. Now let's fast forward to 2000. Now we're up to about $5.7 trillion in debt, but no worries. As a country, we're making $9.5 trillion. So again, making more money than we had debt. Let's go fast forward to 2012. It's about even. $15 trillion in debt and $15 trillion in GDP. But things really started changing afterwards. 2016, now we have more debt than GDP. 2020, it got worse, much worse. And now in 2023, it's much worse than that. That's no good. That's no good. Our debt is going out of control. Okay, and, you know, at some point, this is all going to collapse. I don't know when. Maybe this goes on for another 100 years. But the way we are operating is unsustainable. We don't make enough money. That's really the bottom line. And here, there's another nifty thing here called a debt clock for most of the nations on the planet. So you could see there's like a, there's like a 5 trillion difference between GDP and national debt for the US, right? But look at China. China has 14 trillion in debt, which is a lot, right? But they make more. Their GDP is higher. And then you look at other nations. Japan is really bad. That's why, I mean, Japan's really bad. But you look at Germany. Germany makes more than their debt. UK is pretty close. India makes more, right? So there's it's back and forth. Brazil is pretty close, right? Argentina, surprisingly, GDP is higher than that. And then Australia is way higher than their debt. I mean, you look at that, that's pretty good. There's debt to GDP ratio, right? But the U.S. is not looking so good, and that gap keeps widening more and more and more and more. So it's an unsustainable system, and right now, just to pay the interest on our debt is at $1 trillion. That's just interest that we need to pay. No wonder we need to raise the debt ceiling so much every single year or every few years, because just the interest alone is at $1 trillion now. And that is not going to go away as we incur more debt and print more money. And, of course, that adds to more inflation, right? This is why inflation is never ending and it keeps going up and up and up and up and just robs you of your buying power. I mean, it's just that simple. And, and Fed Powell is trying to do what he can by trying to stop inflation by raising rates, right? Making a whole lot of people and businesses poor. But you know what? It's really affecting the banks. 3 national banks or 3 regional banks are really struggling now after First Republic. And get this, 722 banks reportedly have unrealized losses exceeding 50% of the capital. What does that mean? That's horrible. That's horrible. That means their losses basically take up more than half of their assets. And if these banks started reporting, well, they're going to have massive bank runs happening. People are going to be really taking out their money. And right now it's kind of hidden, I feel like. The tension is on the bigger publicly traded banks. But there's a lot of banks that are private banks. And they're not reporting, and people don't know until it's too late. And there's a notice that goes out and says they're being shut down, right? But there are a lot of banks out there that are really, really struggling right now, too. So we're in this situation. It's a very confusing situation where the Fed is trying to decrease inflation by making a whole lot of people and banks and businesses poor, right? But these banks are deemed too big to fail. They're being saved by the government, by the Fed and FDIC, which has to print more money. And overall, we need to print more money to get the U.S. out of this situation. And that causes inflation to go up. You see how it's, Powell's kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. That's a situation he's in right now. And we're in this very weird scenario overall. But that's why. That's why we're in Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is created, for these very reasons. These shenanigans, these scenarios where it's just unsustainable. It's going to come collapsing one day. Maybe not today, tomorrow, or within our lifetimes, but it's going to happen eventually. It's just such a weird Ponzi kind of scheme. And the only reason why it's sustainable is because we have that infinite money printer. If we didn't have that infinite money printer, we would be toast already. But yeah, that's why Bitcoin is now starting to show a little strength, right? There are major catalysts. I would say the banking woes and fears definitely is a catalyst. But, there's more. Of course, there's just the halving event, right? Halving event is coming up. There's just a lot more enthusiasm over that. The inflation rate of Bitcoin being cut in half rather going up like fiat, like USD, like every other fiat on earth, right? So there's just a lot to look forward to. And this is what it looks like. Too bad I can't zoom in a little bit more. But the green is basically showing our current trajectory right now versus some of the previous cycles as they lead to their next halving event. So we're looking good. We're on track. We're supposed to be where we are, right? And we're following the same footsteps as before. I mean, better days are coming. Now, shorter time frame, a lot of similarities with 2019 and some of these previous lows. Okay, you could see we're pressing up against the moving average, the 80 moving average. And we break through that, we could see Bitcoin fly up to $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in a matter of months. And some people think it's going to happen before July, right? We're right up against that point. But longer term, if you zoom out, you realize, well, that's just the beginning, and there's a lot more to come, right? So Bitcoin is looking pretty darn good still. Nothing has changed. There will be times where Bitcoin seems like it's kind of slow, kind of not moving. But broaden your timeline, your horizons, and realize that whatever that's going on in the U.S. with debt, with the unsustainable rate of printing money, and the bailout of the banks, all of those things strengthens the narrative of Bitcoin and why we need something that's decentralized, that's not governed by any country, right? Something that is by itself, and you can't apply monetary easing or tightening or anything else that our governments do, right? So pretty good. Now, what else is pretty good is, of course, since so many degens are in the chat, what else is good is Pepe, which has gone up on an insane run. I did a few videos already, right? It's still holding above 1 billion. It's like at 1.2 billion in market cap. It is sitting at number 43, 1.2 billion exactly. It's down a little bit from yesterday's peak, but overall, you know, you have this unknown coin, meme coin, that is now sitting in the top 50 of CMC within a matter of a month. And many people made a lot of money from it. So that is good. That is good. I mean, today, more exchange listing. Yesterday, you had a Binance listing, a KuCoin listing. Bybit is listing today. Crypto.com is listing today. So it has that network effect, okay? I don't believe it's going to go away. Kind of like SHIB. When SHIB got this big, you knew it just was not going to go away, right? It's gotten to that point. There are a lot of whale buying now. Someone bought $2 million worth of Pepe just in the last 3 hours. I mean, things are going wild right now, right? And I showed this, I think yesterday, the number of holders. It was around 90,000, a little bit under 90,000. Now it's up to 105, 106,000. So I added approximately 6 to 7,000 more holders within a matter of a day. That's a lot. That's a lot. But still, trails SHIB and Doge by a large margin. But it is quite a lot. It is quite a lot. It is definitely meme season. Okay, I think because of Pepe, it's meme season. Every video I watch in TikTok is about someone speculating about the next Pepe and people just throwing wild guesses out there. And there's so many memes coming out right now. Not to say that this is healthy by any means, okay? But it is at least bring some excitement into the space. So that's the good thing. I've always said the biggest utility for meme coins is it's a people driver. A driver of people into crypto. Whether those people stay or not is a different story. And yes, there are a lot of people that do get wrecked. They buy in at top and then watch it go down and they completely get wrecked and go out. Yes, right? But it's about educating, being safe, right? And people have to be honest with their intentions, right? If you're trying to make $1 million from a meme, right? You don't go all in. It's too risky, right? These are like lottery type plays. So if you want to FOMO in, you want to play with a few dollars here or there, right? That's fine. You could do that, but you got to be safe about it. You don't want to go wreck yourself by putting all your money in and watching it maybe disappear, which could very well happen, right? But I will say this, meme coins do drive a lot of people into this space. It brings some excitement into space. So overall, I think that's a net positive in my book. Justice Department, more FUD around Binance for Russian. It just seems like everyone wants to keep investigating Binance, right? Or maybe it's just headline news. I don't know. And there's just a lot of news about Binance FUD, right? But regardless of all this, Binance continues to operate just fine. CZ continues to operate just fine. And you know what? I just don't know. There's just so much FUD over everything Binance is doing. It's incredible. And then lastly, Voyager says because Binance.us is not going to purchase them because of all the scrutiny, they will liquidate their assets. And right now, they're saying if Alameda Research, which is trying to claw back a lot of assets, if they don't succeed, people will get probably 64% of their assets. But if they do claw back, which I don't know the exact amount, that 64% will be a lot lower. So the best case scenario in this point for users is you will get back 64%. But the worst case scenario, it'll be much lower than that. And I don't know what that number is. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. By the way, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with my kids yesterday with the family. Excellent, excellent, excellent Marvel film. I don't remember the last film that I enjoyed from Marvel this much. Probably it was like Endgame or something like that. But it was excellent. If you guys are thinking about it, you should definitely go watch it. It's really, really good. Nothing like Ant-Man. Nothing like whatever else that came out since Endgame or Infinity Wars. It's really good. All right, let me see if I miss anything. Eli said, if each one of us paid $95,000, the morons running the government would just find a way to put us back into debt. I mean, that is true. That's why. That's why I don't think anyone really considers that, because they'll just find a way to spend it on something that's not going to be contributing to the debt or paying back the debt. What's scary is only 62% of Americans are actively in the labor force. 50% aside. Nicole, I don't know. 50% of South Carolina, West Virginia, Florida, Georgia decide to go back to work. I don't know if that's true. Okay. Josh asks, have you heard anything about Celo's project Fiat Connect, which is the on-ramp API that will work for DEXs? I am not, but that does not surprise me. I talked to another company recently that is working on the same thing. You know, Fiat on-ramp, off-ramp is very important. Makes it easier, especially for DEXs and wallets, to onboard people without needing to go to like a centralized exchange, right? I haven't heard about it, but it does not surprise me. And I think it's it'll be good overall. Just leave it at that. Someone asked if Pepe has a roadmap. Meme coins do not need roadmaps, okay? Does Doge have roadmap? Does Doge have any utility? No. No. The only thing Doge has is Elon at this point, right? But that's okay. That's why it's sitting at $10.6 billion, right? There are some meme coins that don't need any utility or any roadmap or anything, and it's just going to do well. Others are trying to go in a different direction, like Sheeb is trying to go in a different direction and, you know, obviously trying to create utility, but so far it has not really helped Sheeb catch up to Doge. But, you know, you can't discount SHIB. It's sitting in 15 at 5.6 billion, which is above something like Avalanche, which has hundreds of dApps on top of it. Lazaro, for people who missed the Pepe pump, your thoughts on getting in now? Can it go higher? Of course it could go higher. I think there's a good chance. I take the good out. There's a chance it could catch up to SHIB. Okay, so I think that is a possibility. But is there a chance for it to go 100x from here? Probably not. Can it go up 20 or 30x in the next bull run? Possibly. But, you know, there's a lot of other meme coins that may get popular and steal their liquidity. There's a lot of things that can happen right now. But right now, it's gotten so big. If you didn't get in early, getting in now, the reward to risk ratio is a lot lower, or the risk to reward ratio is a lot higher. So just keep that in mind. It can go down. It can definitely go down. When the system fails, anarchy hits, only crypto people survive. Well, yes, and people with guns and ammunition. But yes, I get your point, Townsley. Do you think Cadena could go to all-time high? I certainly hope so. I'm still rooting for them. What do you think about the SHIB and Paramount partnership? I didn't hear anything about that. Are they going to come out with a movie or a series? Didn't hear about it. It sounds interesting. But again, you know, SHIB is going a different direction from Doge, and I like that. That's why I like SHIB more than Doge. But all this utility makes me wonder if it's really necessary. I know when, you know, if you're the founders, you got a boatload of cash, yes, you should put good use to it, right? So creating a metaverse, creating Shibarium, creating more stuff, bringing the dApps aboard, all this, you know, is great. Is great. But is that going to make people, you know, leap into it, so to speak? I don't know. I don't know. Am I betting on the Kentucky Derby? No. Never bet on horses before. When is the next house video? I don't have any updates. I mean, it's not going to always be exciting. So I'm waiting for some more progress before showing it. And I don't have any updates on my broker situation either.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
Since the degen mode and meme mode. Oops. I didn't mean to show that. I pressed the wrong button. I was writing a poll. Since there's degen and meme mode or meme season, should I put out one video a week about the latest meme coins? I'll put that out right now. You guys vote on that. I didn't even notice that I actually put that up. Lakers winning that series. When are they playing next? My audio is very low. No, it's not. It looks fine. Maybe I'm just a little farther away from my microphone. Let's see. Am I buying a new Solana phone? No, never. I'd rather buy a Infinity phone before a Solana phone. Oops, I have the camera. I have the camera wrong too. Man, putting up that poll screwed a lot of stuff up. Crypto Jeb called out Gina at the press conference this morning. What does that mean? What did he say? Jeremy, I'll look that up later if that's in regards to sheep. Can you explain the argument that BTC is a hedge against inflation? I need something to win arguments at the office. You don't need to win arguments, man. If they don't believe you, they laugh at you, who cares? You're the only one that knows, right? When you're driving your Lambo in the future, you know, then they know they lost, right? So there's some people that you can't convince. But if you had to use that, if that was the argument and you wanted to win, just say, okay, go back the last 12 years. Go back 10 years. Just do an even number. Go back 10 years. Find anything, and pit it against Bitcoin in terms of returns. Okay, it's that simple. You win. There's nothing. Nothing. Not Tesla, not Netflix, certainly not gold. Nothing. If you go back 10 years, look at the performance versus Bitcoin, nothing is anywhere close. And if that's the case, then Bitcoin automatically wins as the best hedge against inflation because it is the most appreciating asset that we have. Easy argument. Easy argument. Gambler DGen, is Flux good like a Dana? If so, can you explain? Well, why don't you tell me that? See, like when you pit something against something else that has really nothing to do with it, it makes me wonder how you came up with that conclusion. So rather than ask me, you should tell me, and then I'll tell you if I agree with you. Does the Pepe craziness signal the official start of a bull market? Are we going to go back in 2 years and say Pepe started a bull market? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Meme coins, traditionally speaking, have not started a bull market. They got hot during a bull market, but they never started a bull market. So, I don't know. Right now, the thing that a little bit concerning is even though Pepe is now above $1 billion, right? The overall global market cap did not go up. We've been stuck at a 1.2 trillion for a little bit. So that means money is just coming out of others and going into Pepe. There's not new money coming in, right? So I think that shows we're not in a bull run yet. We're start of a new bull cycle, but it's very beginning. Until we see this global market cap, this right here, go up, we're not in a bull run yet. Oh, according to my poll, 511 votes, 54% says yes to a latest meme coin video once per week, and 46% said no. Well, at least 54% of you guys are degens. There's a new meme coin on Cardano, who what I've known is interesting. You know, there's a lot of meme coins on Bitcoin too. There's actually a ton that's gaining a lot. It's just a lot harder to buy because you can only use like one wallet to buy it and store it. Favorite DEX? Uniswap. I know a lot of people love GMX because they love to, you know, use that leverage. For me, I just like Uniswap. See, I have a solution to get rid of our debt. Every one of you guys right now, okay? Just pay $95,000, take it out of your account, take it out of Bitcoin, right? If all of us in the U.S. took $95,000 and paid the government, we would have no debt. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Look at it in 1980, it's only $4,000 per citizen. Fast forward 20 years, it went up to $20,000 per citizen. Then fast forward another 20 years, it went to $80,000 per citizen. And now we jump from $80,000 to $95,000 within a matter. Oh my God, this is 2027. This is projected in 2027. It's going to jump to $122,000. And that deficit is going to be at $42 trillion. That's within 4 years. So that it's anticipating that we will grow by 11 trillion in the next 4 years. That's going parabolic. That's like, you know, going up like Pepe. That's Pepe style. Hey, savings per family. I don't know how true this is, but look at this. Savings per family right now is at $9,000. I'd say that's pretty true. I say that's pretty true. A lot of families live paycheck to paycheck. It's very hard sometimes to get out of debt and make more, right? But $9,000 per family. That's right now. Let's go back to 2012. What was it? 2012. Did they have that? Oh no, they removed that. That's a recent, so I can't see it. Oh no, here. 8,800. Okay, that's 2012. It's 2,000, 6,000. So, you know, savings per family, let's go 1980, 3,000. So since 2000, savings per family has not gone up that much, from 6,000 to 8,000, and it's still 8,000 today, right? Barely, or 9,000. So savings per family definitely has not elevated at the same level as our national debt. All right, guys, let's conclude. Like I said at the beginning, you know what? We are in crisis mode, okay? The U.S. is out of money, and we can't decide on this debt ceiling. And even if we do extend it, it's bad. It's not good. Banks are no good. Inflation is still no good. So all these things strengthen the narrative for Bitcoin. And we got a lot to look forward to, including, oh, I forgot this. MicroStrategy announces their Lightning platform for businesses, but we got a lot to look forward to. And of course, meme coin season is here. Be careful, be safe, be realistic about your intentions. Don't go all in on these meme coins. It's fun, it's exciting, it brings people into the space, but know that a lot of people are going to get wrecked. A lot of these projects could be rug pulls. A lot of them will dump back to zero, right? So be careful. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Tonight, another FOMO or Pass episode. It's going to be a good one, so make sure you tune in tonight, 8 p.m., and then tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for another live session. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.